Hi, my love. This is going to be your 3-question tarot reading. And for the reading, I'm going to be using multiple decks. So I'm just going to have them out on the table. One of them being the Enchanted Map Oracle. I think I'm just going to stick with my Psychic Tarot, my Rider-Waite, and possibly another tarot deck, the Broken Isn't Bad Tarot. So let's dive in. We have 3 questions from you that we're going to start with the first one. So the first one is, what steps can I take to improve my work and learn the business side of it? So according to your email, you are an artist. So you are a creator, and we're going to kind of pull on the energies of that. How can you improve your work from the business perspective? So that's how I'm going to approach that question. Let's start off with an oracle card. I'm going to use the guidebook with it for that question, just to kind of get the energy of it going. I do invite you to take notes for your reading, so have a pen and paper ready. Take notes, because this reading can be about 30 minutes in length. Ooh, okay, so we have Metamorphosis. I love it. I don't even need the guidebook for it, but let's just read it anyway. So it's number 25, Metamorphosis. I just find that this guidebook gives so much juicy insight for the cards, so I thought it would be perfect for you. Okay. Butterflies earn their wings through great effort. The process of change is often painful, for it is never without losses and sacrifices. If you are to transform from one form to another, a part of you needs to die. Letting go isn't easy, especially when you're used to thinking a certain way about your life and how you live it. Just as a snake sheds its dead skin or a caterpillar dies so that a butterfly can be born, you are required to release your old ideas and embrace a necessary change so you can live your best life. Perhaps you're being asked to let go of low self-worth, a dream that no longer serves you, a relationship that is draining, or unhealthy habits. Despite your fear, you must accept that this is a transformational time for you. There will be some loss involved, but you will love what you become. That is exactly why I felt like this deck needed to be pulled out for you. So that's a beautiful message. Metamorphosis, it is a process, changing, transformation, becoming one version of yourself to another. And the process of that is requiring the death or the shedding of something that no longer resonates with you, something that no longer serves you. And so when we're looking at this in terms of your business and the creative side and how to improve things, I feel like this card is asking you that you are in that shift, you are in that phase of change, but you need to let go of maybe old habits or projects or ideas or a way of doing things that are no longer resonating with you. Maybe your art style is changing. Maybe the things that you were once wanting to do with your art are changing, and you're like shifting into a different way of expression, and it's like you're gonna have to give up some of those old ways to bring in some excitement, some pizzazz into your work. And so I love that card came up for you, because it really kind of gives us an idea of what's happening here. So in terms of your art, I feel it's not necessarily the art specifically that needs to change, unless there's something with what you're creating that maybe you need to tweak. But I feel like it's just giving away old habits of maybe old ways of doing things as far as your business goes. Working on your marketing more, working on your appearance more with your business or with your website. If you're not using online platforms, you need to, or you should be, especially if you are wanting to sell your art, putting yourself out there and whatnot. That's kind of like the the vibe that I'm feeling. So I feel like it's not necessarily what you're creating that needs to change, unless there's like little things that you want to change about that. But I feel it's more of like the makeup of your business, how it looks on the outside. Okay, so we have love begins, we have base chakra, and we have movement decisions in reversed. So love begins in the reverse is telling me that perhaps what was once passionate, that you were once passionate about, that flowed easily, has stopped, because it's in the reversal. So we're seeing maybe there's a lack of passion for what you create. Your artistry, or your creations don't feel as authentic, because maybe you're putting too much of your ego into it. You're putting too much of your thoughts and too much pressure on yourself to create, and it's not flowing naturally like it used to. And so I feel like maybe you have to kind of go back into that mindset of like, where were you at the time when you were actually creating things that you truly loved and you truly felt connected to. And so finding a love for that again. And like I said, shifting your process, shifting your mindsets, your feelings, your approaches to your art will do that for you. But also I feel like it's more of the outside makeup. It's the way that you look, not you personally, but like it's the way that your art, your brand, your website, if you have one. If you don't have a website, then that would be like your first step, is start to create a land base, if that makes sense, which is probably why the base chakra is coming up for you. The base chakra is your stability. It's your stable ground. This is your fertile ground where you plant your seeds so the rest of you can grow. So your business needs fertile ground to grow into. And so the base chakra coming up is making me feel like maybe you need a website, or you need to spice up your website a little bit, maybe you need an online store platform. There's Store Envy, there's Etsy, or maybe it's moving from Etsy and Store Envy because maybe you're no longer resonating with that anymore, and actually putting all of your stuff that you could sell onto your own website. So I did that transition about 2 years ago. And it's been nice. It's been really nice. So I used Store Envy for a long time, and then I transferred over from Store Envy to my website. So maybe that's something that's been bothering you, and that's something that you've been wanting to do. So really focusing on what is your fertile ground, and are you putting care and attention into your fertile ground so that you can grow? Because if you're not, then that base chakra or that root chakra is coming up for a reason. And then we have movements, decisions, and choices, and it's in the reverse. And so this could be your personal hesitation with making big changes to your art. This could be the stagnancy that you're feeling. So maybe you haven't been selling as much as you've been wanting to, or maybe this is telling you this isn't the right time to make any major changes at this time. It's a 2 card, so 2 could equal February. So perhaps February might be a time where you'll see this flow start up again. And perhaps January, because these are both ones, they're both 1 cards. January is the month that you are cleaning up the place. You're cleaning up your website. You're cleaning up your store. You're cleaning up your inventory, your prices. You're doing all of the cosmetic work on the outside, so that you can have a nice little, metamorphosis. And then perhaps in the 2, the February month, you'll start to see the movement, and you'll start to see the stagnancy wear off. So really interesting. Really interesting. Let's see what tarot has to say in terms of this. Ooh, so you have the King of Pentacles, we have the 2 of Pentacles, and we have the Page of Cups. I love it. So King of Pentacles is showing a fruitful future, business-like. I feel like this is you needing to become more comfortable with the term of money, being more comfortable with the exchange of your art and money. So maybe rearranging your prices. The King of Pentacles is very He's just really smart with his spending, and he's really good with dealing with money and the business aspect. So perhaps you need to pay a little bit more attention to the money side and like the cosmetics of the way your shop looks or your website looks, putting a little bit of money into your brand so that you can have a whole new fresh look for the 2020 new year. The Two of Pentacles, this is a decision, this is a crossroads that you may be finding yourself in. It's also a number 2. So again, February could be a very prominent month for you. It's not that long away. It's a month away. So February could be where you start to put your actions into play, and maybe you see when you hit that crossroads, you'll feel more clear and more ready to make a big decision. So February could be the day or the month that you make a major decision and you move forward with a new direction as far as your art goes. Or February can be the month where you are faced with the decision and then you have to figure out where you want to go from there. The Page of Cups is usually like a message that is coming to you in terms of maybe you meet somebody randomly and they give you an idea. This could be an inspiring dream. This could be literally just like inspiration hits at the randomest times. And so maybe you will be inspired through other people that you meet, or dreams, or a conversation you have to make art. And so you might be recently thinking like, I need to switch up what I'm creating. I need something new to add to the table. And that may actually take place with that Page of Cups, and saying that you may be hit with a burst of inspiration and you will start to create some new stuff and you'll have some new pieces to add into your shop. So it's really exciting to see that. And I think that right now, to answer the question of how you can improve your business, your art, work on the cosmetics, work on the outside, your website. If you have one, tweak it. Make it look nicer, switch up the photos, maybe take clearer photos of your artwork that you're selling, or rearrange. Maybe it's the prices that you need to rearrange, or maybe it's like a whole new brand, a name. Or if you don't have a website altogether, then this could also be indicating you need a website. And then deciding, how do you want to sell your stuff? Is it an online shop platform like Etsy or Store Envy, or are you selling directly on your website? So I feel like it's the outside cosmetics that needs to change. And I feel like through that metamorphosis, you may see changes in your actual artwork that you're doing. But I feel like it's more so the makeup. It's more so the makeup and creating a fertile ground to sell your stuff. You know what I mean? Okay, so let's look at number 2. So question number 2 is how to meet someone and what I should be looking for. So this is for love, how to meet someone and what you should be looking for. And so let's see the energy of that. How to meet someone and what you should be looking for. Ooh, so we have Ghost Lands in reversed. And that's number 17. Okay. So the reversed meaning is when the Ghost Lands card appears reversed, it's a sign that you are wandering in an emotional or intellectual place with no real substance. There's no point longing for that which has already gone or hasn't happened yet. Perhaps you've created a fantasy of the good old days or some elusive utopian destination that lies somewhere in the future when this or that happens to make things better. Live one day at a time. Each day is a new beginning filled with truth and beauty. Stay away from ghost lands of past and future. Avoid nostalgia and longing for something better. Find joy in what is present in your life today. Wow, that's powerful. So in terms of your love life, in terms of you wanting love and meeting somebody, this card can be indicating that you're focusing so much on love will make me happy. Love will make the future better. Love will make the future brighter. My purpose relies in finding love. Or, thinking that would be the missing recipe, the missing ingredient in the recipe of life, right? I feel like this card is representing that maybe you are focusing so much and so heavily on regrets of the past and want the desires of the future that you're letting your daily, the present pass you by. And so you're kind of living in a ghost land, or, it's just kind of like you're going throughout your day, but there's no substance to it. And so we want to change that up. So when it comes to the love life, we want to get you to be in more present state versus wondering and obsessing over the future because it hasn't happened yet, and worrying about the past, or maybe mistakes that you've made, or mistakes you think you made, or regrets and whatnot. So really powerful card to begin your message. I love it. So just let me reread the question to make sure I get this right. How to meet someone and what I should be looking for. So first things first, how to meet someone and what you should be looking for. You need to be in the present, okay? No more living in the past. No more worrying about the future. Let's get you in the present. Live it day by day. That's the first step. That is the first step to finding love. I'm going to actually use my Psychic Tarot for the Heart for this reading, because this is my deck for love. And I do read reversals with this deck, so. Okay. So as I'm shuffling, I feel like I'm hearing Spirit say that you have to let go. Let go of the control. Let go of what you're holding on to. They're saying like a sense of setting yourself free. Like I just keep hearing free, but I also fear. I also feel like I'm getting that image of letting go. Okay. So if you're trying to have as much control as you can on love, this is like a test for you to let the universe take control. Let God take control. Let fate happen. You can't control every little aspect of it. And so we have Helpless and Hopeless coming up, the Sacral Chakra, and Master in reversed. Okay. So that is exactly how, like, see how he has his heart in a box, right? And he's like controlling the heart. It's in reverse though. So that's what I'm feeling like. It's like you're trying to not manipulate, but I guess that's the only word that's coming to mind, to manipulate the flow of love. You can have control over love, as in going on dating websites or going out and socializing or flirting. You can do little things to kind of persuade love to come to you, right? But ultimately, the universe already knows what they're going to bring into your life. So it's like you could do little things to help love happen, but you can't control every aspect. It's not your puppet, And so I feel like in terms of like how you can find someone, the Helpless and Hopeless card is like, to me, this person looks like they're stuck. Like they don't know where to go. They don't know what they should do. I feel like you spend way too much time worrying about the details, and it's kind of like you just need to just do it. Just go for it. Don't overthink, just do what feels natural. Do what feels right. If you're like, for example, if you want to start online dating, but then you're obsessing over which platform should I use, what profile how should my profile look, what picture should I put up, like I feel like you could be that person maybe that you obsess over, you overthink, you overanalyze every little thing, and then the initial action doesn't get done. So if that is a case for you, then this is something that you have to practice on your own, is to release the obsession over the control of the details and just do it. So if you're having trouble with the initial putting yourself on an online dating platform, just do it. Pick one, pick two, pick three, It doesn't really matter how many you're on, but what resonates with you. And be honest and be authentic with your profile, The sacral chakra is coming up. This is sexual energy. This is passion. You need love You need love that is going to be sexually charged and passionate for you. You need to be physically attracted to the person, and the person, you know, vice versa. There needs to be sexual comfort with you when it comes to relationships. The sacral chakra is also passion. So you want to feel inspired by love. You don't want love that's going to drain you. You don't want love that's not, it's just going to be like, it's not going to be anything exciting. You know what I mean? You need passion and romance. You know, sometimes it's like, that's what fuels the fire, and that's what you're desiring. So I see that with the sacral chakra, and I love that. And so let's ask the tarot, how can you meet someone? So if you don't online date, I do recommend it. I know there's a lot of different opinions about it, but I personally, that's the way I met my husband. So I always recommend online dating, especially if you are the type of person that is not a social butterfly, or you don't have a large social circle. So it's just to kindly put it, because for me, it was the truth. I could count my friends on one hand. And even then, sometimes it's like one or two. And so my social circle was very, very small. And so for me, it was like, well, I'm not going to meet friends. I'm not going to meet someone through friends. And so I was like, the next best thing for me was online dating. So I feel like if you feel that that is something that you resonate with as well, I totally recommend it. And I would say spend time with the dating sites that you actually have to take your time making a profile. I don't know what's out there anymore. It's been a while for me since I was on one, but I met my husband through, I was on eHarmony, and then I was also on Yahoo Personals. I don't think Yahoo Personals exists anymore. But they were both platforms that you literally had to create your profile and answer, you know, questions and stuff. So it took a while. And to me, it's like that, those are the ones where you're being serious, because if someone is just looking for a quick fuck, they're not going to spend the time to put together a long profile. So depending on what you're looking for, if you're looking for a fling, or if you're looking for, you know, something serious, pay attention to the kind of platforms that you're utilizing. At least that's my approach. That's what it would be. But again, I could be wrong. I love it. So how to meet someone. 3 of Cups is socializing. Put yourself out there. So if you have friends and they invite you out, go out. Okay. Stop opting to stay in. You need to put yourself out there. So the 3 of Cups is saying socialize, go out with friends. If you get invited to go places, go out with the intention of, this could be the night that I will meet my love of my life. Like literally, that's what you have to set your intentions for, because that's what I used to do. Sometimes I wouldn't want to go out on a Friday night, but my cousin or my friends at the time would be inviting me, and we would go to the clubs. Like that was one of our things that I used to do back in the day. And sometimes I just be like, oh, I don't really want to do this, but I knew if I want to meet someone, you know, I got to put myself out there, because you can meet someone in the destination you're going, or sometimes life happens where you can meet the person at the gas station on the way as you guys are pumping gas, or you can meet the person as you are like ordering your hot dog at 3 a.m. You know what I mean? So so you just never know, but you'll never know if you don't try. So 3 of Cups is saying socialize. 5 of Swords to me is you have to not listen to the negative banter that's in the back of your mind. So the 5 of Swords tells me that maybe you spend too much time analyzing and you have a lot of, you know, fears and doubts and whatnot. You got to learn to control that, because those fears and those doubts are manipulating you to being fearful of opening your heart to love, or being fearful of giving someone a chance. I also feel like this is outside, listening too much to the outside opinions of your choices of dating. So if you have friends who are a little bit nosy, God bless them for being helpful, but sometimes our friends are a little bit too helpful, and we don't need that extra confusion. And I feel like maybe you might have a couple people who give you their opinion and it's like a bit too much. And maybe it's like your taste of a person is different from their taste, and so they're reflecting their opinion onto you. based on what they feel for themselves is what would be their ideal person to date, but it may not align with you. So if you find that that's an issue, learn to block out and kindly, literally kindly say, I appreciate your advice, but I decline. Like, you don't have to take everybody's advice to heart. And then the Nine of Pentacles, this is the one that made me laugh, because I feel like Nine of Pentacles is saying, spice up your look, you know, enhance what is already a beauty to you, you know? So if you, like, when you look at yourself in the mirror, pick 3 things about yourself physically that you love and enhance those things that you love, you know? That's the trick to feeling beautiful and, you know, kind of like enhancing or giving yourself a little mini makeover kind of thing. I'm all about natural beauty and whatnot, but I do prefer my face when I have makeup on. That's my opinion. So, you know, pick 3 things about yourself that you love and enhance it. So for example, if you love your hair and you love the way your hair looks down, you know, make sure like every single time you go out when you're like on the hunt for love, that you're, you know, wear your hair down, wear it the way you like it. Don't wear it the way other people are wearing it or the way other people are telling you to do it. So I feel like Nine of Pentacles, she's all about like, she's all about herself and living in living her best life with all of her money and all of her luxuriousness. And she looks good. Look at her clothes. She's just beautiful and she's enjoying the abundance of earth energy. And earth energy is all of the outside stuff. It's all the material. So yeah, be a little bit materialistic when you're going out, when you're on the hunt for love. Spice up your look, put on your best outfits, your favorite outfits, wear your favorite colors, wear your favorite smelling perfumes, put on makeup, put on, you know, whatever. Enhance what is already your favorite assets about yourself. And when you look good and you are confident, other people will sense it and they are attracted to that. Trust me. So that's my little advice for how to snag someone. I hope that helped. I hope that helped. So let's move on to the last question. And the final question is, you've been told that you lack self-esteem. You agree and disagree. I want to grow as a person. I want to improve on that. So let's pull on that. I feel like you agree and disagree on the whole being told that you lack self-esteem, because I feel like it depends on the mood you're in. You can totally be in the mood where you're vibrant and vivacious, and then you're in a mood where you're just not feeling it and maybe you feel doubtful and hesitant. It just depends on the mood. It depends on the situation where you're at in life. We all struggle with it. So I totally get you on that. All right. Thought I had one flip over, but I guess not. Okay. Ooh, so we have commitment in reversed. Commitment in reversed. So let's see how that is. That's number 36. Number 36. Commitment reversed. You may be walking into a commitment or a contract you will later regret. This isn't a good time to sign agreements or make any choice that would tie you up for a long period. If you're in a relationship, you may not receive the commitment you desire. Don't despair, for something much better awaits you. Now is also the time for agreements to be broken. Remember that rejection is God's protection. What hurts you now leads to wisdom later. So it kind of doesn't resonate with the question, but it kind of does. And I feel like this is saying that you are not committed to someone else's opinion of you. Just because somebody else or a reader or, whoever, or your old mindsets or your past or somebody somewhere said that you're insecure, that you lack self-esteem. If that was your own personal definition of yourself at a time, or a person or a friend, or it was a reader who said that, whatever the case, you don't have to be committed to being the low self-esteem person forever. That is not your definition. So I read this commitment card in reverse for you as saying, just because you were once defined a certain way does not mean that that's who you are forever. And so that commitment card is saying to break those rules, break those opinions of you. You have the ability to throw that away and renew yourself, okay? Redeem yourself. So that's pretty much how I'm seeing that. Really, really good message right there. So for that, like, because this one isn't really a question, it's just saying you want to grow as a person. First thing that you need to do is break the commitment. Break any ties, any cords, any commitment that you created saying, okay, well, I guess I'm just a person with low self-esteem. I guess that's just who I am. No. This could be who you are maybe at times, maybe when you're just in a crappy mood or something happened, but it doesn't define you. You can change that at any time. So that's the first thing for that. The next one, we have balance. So to me, this is seeking balance within your life, yourself mentally. So mental balance, emotional balance, spiritual balance, physical balance. Okay, 4 things. Mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. Seeking balance within yourself. How can you obtain that? Well, you're getting a spiritual reading right now. So that's one step, right? Physical balance could be eating healthier, making better decisions with your food intake, getting some exercise. It could be really good sex. It could be anything physical that you could do that makes you feel happy and then just makes you feel rejuvenated and balanced. Mental balance could be meditating, giving yourself quiet time every once in a while if that's what you crave. It could be mental stimulation, working on a puzzle. Sometimes I've been doing Sudoku puzzles lately, and those have been really relaxing me in a weird way. And so to me, that's been working for me with my anxiety. So for you, it could be, doing something that will mentally stimulate you, right? Bring balance to you. And then emotional balance could be, like I said, you could go get an energy healing. You can go get, be in prayer. You could meditate. You could do yoga. You could go for a run. Like whatever it does that just helps you feel more at ease with yourself in those different ways. Rest and rejuvenate. Perfect. So that's just repeating what I just said. I'm not going to spend time on that. It's self-explanatory. And then conflict and defeat in reversed. So it's like conflict and defeat. Don't let those slip ups ruin your path, ruin your future, ruin your projects and the things that you want to do. No longer let it. Break the ties, break any commitments that you may have had or you thought you had to keep. You can always go back on it. And that's the biggest thing. It's just you're owning your choice to make changes. And you're telling yourself, I'm not going to allow other people to define me a certain way. And I am not going to allow myself to define myself a certain way. Okay? We have the Queen of Wands. I love it. So she owns everything she does. She is all about passion. She's all about looking good, feeling good, and being on fire and radiating and standing out from the crowd and just setting an example. We have the Hierophant. I love it. So he's all about structure and rules. Sometimes it could be in a negative sense, but I also feel like maybe sometimes we do need structure and rules to keep us on task and to be strict with ourselves. So perhaps he's coming up with saying, like, as you break these commitments that you once created for yourself, maybe having a little bit of a routine, especially if being balanced. Let's say, for example, you need more balance with your physical stuff. So you want to be healthier and work out. Well, the Hierophant could say having more of a structure balance with that. So having a schedule, a routine. Okay, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I'm going to go for a run for 15 minutes, whatever. That's what I'm talking about. And then we have Ten of Swords, which is all about surrender. Okay, surrender, sacrifice. You are giving in to some of your worst fears. You're giving in to, some of these like things that you've been holding against yourself. And it's a 10 card. So it's the end of that cycle. Okay, you are setting yourself free from it. Okay. And so I guess it's like, to answer the main question here of like how you want to improve yourself as a person, you have to own yourself. For one, you have to own the fact that, hey, I allowed myself to have these commitments thinking that I was low self-esteem forever, or I accepted those low self-esteem comments that other people placed on me, but I'm no longer going to live by that, you know? And then you own yourself by making these changes that we just spoke about. So I hope that this helped you, my love. This concludes your 3-question reading. Thank you so much for allowing me to read for you. Thank you for being patient as I'm getting these readings out, the last ones that I have of December. I hope that you enjoyed it. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or feedback that you would like to give me, please send me an email. I would love to hear from you. And other than that, have a beautiful new year, and I will talk to you later. Bye, love.